This is the portfolio which got me a job as an exterior car designer. Actually, it got me the job as an intern. First, I started as an intern. And actually, I didn't even need to print the portfolio before. This is actually only one page. The rest is empty pages. But I just wanted to make it like printed because you probably think that you have to print your portfolio. Not always. I actually needed to prepare this portfolio in 2 days, if not 1 day. I'm not pretty sure because I was a master's student in SPD in Italy and they told us like, hey guys, you have 1 day or 2 days, and then head of Ital Design, Filippo Perini on that time, will visit us and check your portfolios to pick the intern. So you can imagine the stress, and you can imagine like how limited is this time to create a portfolio, right? And also you need to understand one more thing before we jump into the portfolio. It is not the first portfolio I've ever done. Before masters, I prepared another portfolio to get into masters. Before that, I prepared another portfolio during my bachelor's to have another internship. It was an internship at Ford Design Studio. And also after this portfolio that we will see right now, I also prepared different portfolios again to change my job, to apply different companies and so on. I picked this portfolio to show you because this is the first one which gave me an exterior car design job in Europe, in Volkswagen Group, in Ital Design. It was great. So let's jump into the portfolio. This is an horrible cover. It's terrible portfolio cover in my opinion now when I look back. I mean, I had 1 day or 2 days as I said, but still, like, there's no excuse, you know, you need to be kind of ready. And when you put your work together, you can be more creative than this, I believe. It was in November 2017, which is I think around 4.5 years ago, because in December 2017 I got graduated from my master's course, and this was probably around middle of November. So it was like that close to finish and they were already checking for internship. So the first advice I would give to my younger self is just make a better cover. No. Okay, the second page, like very cliche that I put the CV, like my experience, my design awards and the content and a little bit like a nice sentence about myself. But I don't know if it should be still like this, you know, it's a lot of text. When I see portfolios, I don't read generally. I just check the age. And here, by the way, you can see I was born in 1993. Sometimes you are curious about my age. And I was bald on that time. I was trimming my hair. Wow. Oh, that's a funny face. I look like an egg. Alright, so the second page, this brief information here. I had my phone number and my email that I blurred it out here for this video. I try to keep my portfolio as short as possible because boring portfolios are just boring, you know. You don't want to lose the attention from the viewer. And here you can see the contents. There's a Volvo project, Valtra split tractor. I would say what the hell it is if I was just a viewer. Like, I don't know what is Valtra. If you don't know, it's like a tractor company we will see soon. And then there's Audi project, then Hydromec again. What is Hydromec, you might say? And it's a construction vehicle company that I was working as a part-time designer actually before my master's during my bachelor's degree. So there will be a project about it. And then snacks. Snacks? Like, I think I tried to be fun here. Let's see what is it. Alright, the next page is the cover of the project. I had this nice scale models while doing this project because I really like Scandinavian design. I really like Volvo as a brand and I just wanted to make a project related to them. And I was doing this while my master's, like when we had all these projects, all this intense work you can imagine, I was still able to find some time to do these side projects to make my portfolio different. Because you can imagine, like, hey guys, you have only 1 day or 2 days to put your portfolio together. So most of the people put the projects that we did in the school. So my portfolio was different thanks to this type of things, thanks to this additional work, additional things I did, additional side project like here. So on this cover, not much is visible. I see a little bit of this render, something interesting in my opinion going on. I just like this side view and I got feedback from my friends, my classmates. This was a cool side view on that time. So on the next page, I directly start with sketches. There is no introduction, there is no text, there is no inspiration even, or there's not even like a story behind it. Like, why did I even do this project? And here it looks like an hatchback, but it was actually not hatchback. Like some sketches looks a little bit more like a station wagon, some sketches are more like hatchback, so it might be a little bit confusing, but this project was not finished yet. I just had the ideation sketches and, you know, let's be honest with each other. When you do a project, you don't start with the storyboard and everything generally, right? You have this in your mind, you know what you want to do, but you do the project directly. And later when you want to publish it on internet or when you want to make a good portfolio, you start to put this research and story and etc, right? I mean, anyway, you need to update it for the format of your portfolio. So here it was not ready yet, and I didn't want to focus on that part because I just directly wanted to show my approach and my skills. I still find this one quite fresh actually, this very light colors. And by the way, I did also a sketch like this on my Photoshop course that you can find the links in description. Let's go to the next page. Here we see that it's developed a little bit further. We see more color and we see different surface treatments, and the idea is developing a little bit. But when I see the sketches, if I go details, and I think not many people would go, like when I see portfolios, I see on site, okay, there are cool sketches, but you focus on this big area, like, because I put it big, so you need to pay attention to there what's happening. But here there was a C40, a little detail, because it was more like an hatchback car. Again, I even changed the name of the project later, but anyway, still on Photoshop, I just developed the project a little bit. Not bad type of sketches, I would say. Of course, like after 4.5 years, when I look back, I would change some stuff on the design, but I don't want to go deep on this. But more or less the direction I go with the project is visible already. So on the next page, it gets a little bit confusing again, because this sketch you saw here on the previous page is actually now here, because I really like this asymmetric design here. It comes like this, the Volvo logo also asymmetric, like in the front, you know, I wanted to put it also on the back, and even the rear lights are not matching to each other. I thought it was like kind of interesting idea. I still think it's interesting, but it can be executed in a better way. And again, to my younger self, like on this page, I'm a bit confused, because on the previous one, I just said like, okay, now we are going to a direction, it's visible. And on the next one again, like, okay, what are we doing now? Is it the same car or is it totally different? Because the proportions look a little bit different, honestly. So let's go to the next page. And okay, this is the one that I mentioned you that people gave me a good feedback. It was also a little bit confusing because is it possible to produce this on 3D or the reflections would be totally different? I did some experiments later on this project, but this sketch was the key sketch at the end. Actually, it's not key sketch, it's the final image that we see here, like the final side view of the project. I spent a little bit more time on the refinement of the sketch, also put some details like little Swedish flag here, some additional lights and stuff. And I still think it's okay for ending of a sketch project. You need to keep in mind the standards of what people do on other portfolios on internet. We can do also review sessions with your portfolios or some other portfolios that I really like on internet. And with today's standard, this is not a final of the project. This would be like before 3D. But again, you should also keep in mind who you are showing your portfolio. On that time, Filippo Perini knew that we just prepared these portfolios quickly to apply for internship opportunity because it really suddenly happened. So probably he was not expecting like perfectly done 100 pages portfolio with a hard cover and printed everything. So it was okay. Probably he wanted to see like our thinking process, our skill set and our vision and everything. So on the next page, we also see from rear and the front, which doesn't totally match in my opinion to the side view. The side view looks a bit longer and lower car, but when we go to 3/4, it looks a little bit more like squeezed down, like shortened a little bit, but more or less they speak the same language. And this is the final of this project. And directly on the next page, we see another cover for another project, a little introduction there that I guess nobody would read it. But when I see it, still it's kind of interesting. Now it looks very primary. The surfaces and everything are a little bit like product designish, not much car design, a little bit too rough. And background story about this project, it was a design challenge from Valtra for the future tractor in 2017, yeah. And again, I did this during my master's studies. Like we had Lamborghini project, Audi project, we had a lot going on. But on the Easter break, when I went to my parents, I wanted to participate in this challenge and I was one of the finalists, like with a project I did in 1.5 weeks around. So it was pretty good for me personally. And here is written that 3D alias model is done by me, because I see some portfolios that students put alias models which are not done by themselves. So I wanted to mention that, hey, I'm capable to do alias model. On that time, Blender was not that popular. If it was today, I would do it definitely with Blender. It's totally fine and enough, and it would be way more efficient. But anyway, it's another topic. On the next page, we see that 2 sketches. I did only 2 digital sketches for this project and couple marker sketches that you see on the background here. And I still like this sketch actually. Like it was empty here. It was kind of like a big metal frame when I imagined, but it ended up a little bit different. On this page, when I look back, still not visible the idea. Like, okay, there's a guy outside. It's very important to show the scale, because here, without the person, without the silhouette, it would look like a toy car maybe, like an RC car. But here, when I see the guy outside, it's like, oh, okay, it's something huge. But still, I'm not sure if it's autonomous or if this guy will sit inside. It's still not visible. But it's okay. And again, there's no research, there's no inspiration, there's no story of this project, which is missing in my opinion. It would be nice to show some with big images, like a couple images to show the idea before. It would be very nice. And on the next page, now we see the story, now we see what's happening. It gets a little bit more interesting because this huge thing split it in two. And the idea here was this front part of the vehicle, it's a big tractor working on a huge field, and it's electric obviously. So when the battery gets close to die, like when there's 3% of the battery, this front module detached from the vehicle and the new one at the same time coming from the warehouse already. So without losing any time, like the whole vehicle doesn't need to go back to charge, or whole vehicle still doesn't need to go back to change the battery, because the battery pack can go itself like a Segway, and then the new one can attach, and like within seconds we are back to work. So this was the idea, and I think it's not bad. It's visible here, and also here on the left I show the details, like how it works. Like this detaches and goes a little bit more vertical way, and then go back to warehouse to charge itself. Let's go to the next page. What will happen? Here we see some random details and very primary wheel design. I think I was limited with software again, as I said, like I was doing it in Alias and I had very limited time, so I just made everything very primary. As I said, today I would do it totally in Blender. It changed a lot in 4 years. By the way, if you want to learn Blender specifically focused on car design, you can find my online course, link in the description. So here we see that smart attachment systems. I think I was being lazy. I just modeled a box, a big box with a little bit of graphics, and I said inside there's all the mechanisms. With today's standards, I think it's not enough. It's better to show some what is really inside, more or less. Even if it's not super detailed, it's better to show like you thought about the attachments rather than saying magically smart systems going on there. And about the renders, by the way, I don't have any realism. Everything looks perfectly clean and stuff, but today I would put some dirt on it because it's a tractor which works on the field, right? So why don't you put some dirt on it? Anyway, the next page. Oh, the project is already finished. Also, it's kind of surprising, not in a good way, because I was expecting some kind of like summary, you know, maybe a hero shot, maybe after this, yeah, it would be nice to have a hero shot of this render to say, to prepare me like, hey, okay, this project is finishing and we will go to the next one, but nothing, just bam, jump into the next cover. So the next project is Audi One Space. This was our group project in SPD in collaboration with Audi. And I think it's very important to show that this is a group project. It's very important to write this on your portfolio because there's no reason to act like it's your own thing, all of it. If it's a group project, you have to mention it. And it's also good to show which part you did in this group project. I hope I showed it also. I don't remember really. Let's see what is on the next page. Okay, directly renders. There's no sketch. There's no process. We have no idea what's happening. We don't know the story behind it. Directly to the renders. Okay, it's interesting. It's still not bad, by the way. It's a little bit fat volumes I see on the side view. And on the back I see some kind of like details would have been solved way better. But I still like it because it has some emotional attachment with me. You know, it was from Masters and I know all the good and bad experience happened while this project. By the way, I said it's a group project here, but I didn't show like what I did. I remember actually probably the reason was like we knew that we will show this portfolio, we will present this portfolio directly to head of Ital design. So I knew that I will probably talk while showing the portfolio. Maybe that's why I didn't write or I didn't prepare the background story, or maybe that's why I didn't write which parts I did on this project. So there might be a difference between sending your portfolio and showing directly face to face and presenting. Because as I see, I only put the things I did. There's no storyboard because I didn't draw the storyboard. I remember my group mates draw the storyboard for this project, so I didn't draw it, so maybe that's why I didn't put it on the portfolio, I guess. Because I did this render, I did these renders on this page, and by the way, I was kind of like a lead design student of this project in our group because I was more responsible for the exterior, and I did again the whole Alias model, and it was more into my direction, so probably that's why I just put the final renders to show that this is my part, what I did. I didn't put anything related to the interior, as you see. So on the next page we see the Hydromec Sea City. What is it even? Okay, it's like a nice hero shot in 2016. It's my bachelor degree project. On that time I was still in university doing my bachelor's, final year of my studies, and at the same time I was already working as a part-time designer with this company. So I was going to school for 2 days, I was going to work for 3 days, and both school and the company agreed that I can do my bachelor degree with this company. It was actually very good. I was really lucky to be able to do this. And here on the next page, this time we see a lot of sketches. Like this time it's a little bit too much because in my opinion it's a little bit confusing. It's like I don't even know where to look. Yeah, of course I see the same hero shot that I saw on the cover of this project. And then I see a lot of sketches, which makes me a little bit lost. Again, like some of them should be bigger than others or more contrast. So to guide me on the page, to show which direction I took. But as I see, I just wanted to show off with, hey, look, I did a lot of sketches. And when I look back, I really see some of them very cool sketches. And some of them are very primary and weak looking sketches. And here on the down, we have another sketch again, like more digital sketch. I think it deserves to be a bit bigger if it's the direction I took on the project. And here I have also 3D printed version photo. So as I see, I tried to put everything together. Why would I do that? Okay, I actually remember why, because at the end of this project, we're supposed to make like 4 big boards with, I don't remember the dimension, but it was only 4 or even 3 boards we had to do. And this is the exact same layout. I didn't even change it for the portfolio, but normally what I would suggest you with today's standards and to make a better portfolio, even if you finalize the project before for another presentation, later when you are doing your portfolio, you have to readjust the layout and everything to make it better fit to your portfolio. So let's see the next page, what's happening. And here, yeah, we have some more details, like it shows how it works. It's a construction vehicle again, by the way, which is a modular vehicle that we will see soon, hopefully. But here I think a bit too much text, too much crowded, too much what's happening, but it's visible. It's not designed for this portfolio specifically. It's more for a big board so people can get close. Yeah, actually here on this photo you can see how big was the board. And yeah, we had 1, 2, 3, probably one more board and done. And here I had the 3D model, 3D printed, but it's totally black. It's from the front. It will be nice to see it from other angles actually to show it is actually model. But here I show also the 3D prints. It was sponsored by this company that I was working at the same time, so I was really lucky to do this. And again, I don't have hair. It was more practical without hair on that times. All right, let's go to the next page. Here we have some hero shots. I think I skipped one page. Look, 1, 2, this was 1. Okay, if I look back to this boards, I put together these 2 boards into one page, which is we see right now, because I wanted to keep my portfolio as short as possible. And if you look at this last page of this project, we see these hero shots. I think it's not bad for 2016. I would say it's acceptable. At least the message is visible. It's a city vehicle, city construction vehicle, a modular vehicle. We changed the attachments and stuff. Some parts look like it's chopped out of a brick or something. Of course, I would do many things different today. Let's go to the next page. Here we have the snacks, these snacks projects. Basically, they are one-page projects, as I remember. I mean, if you can call them projects. And this one was from a challenge, from an online challenge from Agora Pode. This is the name of the page. It was a Facebook page on that time, I remember. And depending on how many likes you get, it was like they were picking the winners. Now they have also on Instagram, but I didn't see them for a while and I couldn't have time to participate on them. But maybe we can also do this type of challenges. Basically, it was 3 keywords. In this case, it was Mazda, Stark Industries, and supercar, I guess. So I combined them in this way. We see something like Iron Man, Deadpool, mixture type of guy. And we had the Arc Reactor, the Tony, Stark Industries, Pepper Potts, of course. Yeah, I love Iron Man. So on the next one, we have again Volvo sketches, because actually I did these sketches with the first project we saw on this portfolio, but this was going into another direction, so I just separated it. I didn't put these sketches on this previous project, but I still wanted to keep them as like a one little page kind of fun project. And here we have the Audi R8. I'm a fan of first generation Audi R8, and here I have the small version. It's a pretty cool car. So I wanted to do some sketches about it. As I say, I wanted to emphasize this side air intake, this double color air intake cover thing. It's not bad, but when I see, for example, this type of surface interactions here, it's a little bit like weak and like what's happening here. Probably back in this time I liked it because I put it in my portfolio, so never put something you don't like in your portfolio. I guess I followed also this rule. And of course today it would be different. Maybe I can do an R8 project later. Right, on the next page we see the bikes, because I was experimenting also with bikes, and of course all of them are electric probably. I don't know a lot about bikes. I don't have experience designing of them. I have only electric scooter design before I did, but these were some kind of like random studies for understanding the proportions and generating some ideas. And I see there are some not bad stuff happening, like this one might be some kind of like a cool bike, why not? Or also these. They have potential. And on the next page we have some product design stuff. These are from my bachelor years. This espresso machine I remember very well. And here we have some headphones. It was also kind of like a fun project, because in my opinion design is not only about one thing, you know, it's not only about exterior of the cars. I was always in love with creating new stuff, new ideas. And also for headphones here, as I see, I tried to put some car design touch to headphones. And here on the left, yeah, it was like a wooden plywood stool design. In 2015 we produced it in the school. It was a school project, and here's me again with my dog. Probably it's the first time you see my dog. Yeah, she was also young like me. Now we both are getting older. Next page is the thank you page. Again, another sketch for this Volvo project. I think I just wanted to put it here separately because it doesn't fit to either of the projects. And as you see, I had products, I had motorbikes, I had some construction vehicle, I had some tractor, I have also like this futuristic Audi project, I had this Volvo project, and it's all in 25 pages. So my goal was to keep my portfolio as short as possible, directly to the core of the idea, and show different approaches from me, because it's really important to show your personality. I'm not saying this portfolio is like a benchmark or anything, because it was done in 1 or 2 days just collecting what I had already. But I think it already shows that you really shouldn't stick only to your school project. You should always add something from yourself. What are you passionate about? What is on your background? What are you capable of? Your interests. It's always good to show this. And I would like to also show you my other portfolios, like for applying to master's type of portfolio or changing my job type of portfolio. I would like to show you also these different variations. So definitely there will be more videos on this portfolio topic. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see this car design related content. And you should watch this video to see my other portfolio tips.